Good morning. Got my cup of coffee. I'm ready to share some solds with you. But how do you like your coffee? Mine is a little cream, a little honey. And that starts my day off just great. I think we'll go through my eBay listings first, and then let's talk about promoted listings. Is it worth it? Do you do it? Have you thought about doing it? Absolutely not do it. We'll talk about it. Okay, I thought maybe I was going to have my first week without a clothing sale to share with you, but lo and behold, this is kind of a clothing sale. It's a wetsuit. It qualifies as clothing. This is the only clothing item I had, and I picked this up at the bins, and it's a little bit heavy, so it was probably $4 to $5 that it cost me. But we sold this for $39.99 plus shipping. And this did sell promoted listings. Out of my 5 eBay sales this weekend, this was one of 4 that sold via promoted listings. My next eBay sold is a roll of film. These are German films, canisters. We picked up 5 of them from a garage sale, first garage sale of the year. And they wanted $3 for 5 rolls of them. These are all new in the package. Very random, obscure film. But for $3, I'm gonna take a chance on it every time. And this is the 3rd one that we've sold out of the 5 for $19.99. And it wasn't promoted. So I've already sold $60 worth of film for my $3. All right, I have to give some credit to Philly Flipper for this one. He was on Whatnot and was selling all kinds of stuff. That's what he does. This is a Scentsy warmer. It is a Marines, U.S. Marines, and he convinced me I needed to buy this by telling me that there were no other ones for sale on eBay. So I paid up for this. I paid $22 for this. I listed this 4 months ago on eBay. It did sell via promoted listings, but it did sell for $99.99 plus shipping. So thanks, Paul. All right, clear another space off the shelf behind me. This is a lot of books. Mandy is the series. Lots can be good. These are ex-library, as you can see, but lots can be good to pick up, especially if you're picking them up for really cheap. I'm not one to spend a whole lot on books. I paid $5 for this at a thrift store, this set, and we sold it for $33.99. Took about 6 weeks. This was also a promoted listing. All right, my last eBay sale. Kyle found these at a thrift store where he felt like everything was overpriced. Things were priced pretty high in there. It was very much set up like a boutique with higher end stuff. Prices were higher, but he spotted these chinoiserie monkeys, Asian, made in China, and decided to look them up. We don't know anything about this. This was our first time running across this. He paid $40 for these, and it took us about 7 weeks to sell them on eBay. It was a promoted listing, but we sold them for $109.99 plus shipping. So sometimes it's worth looking up those things that feel like they're high priced, and taking a look. And $40 into $110. It took 7 weeks. That's not too bad. Give it a try. Look things up. Okay, so 4 of those 5 items were promoted listings. I used to hate promoted listings. I still don't love promoted listings. I feel like, we're already I'm paying a store fee for eBay. I pay a listing fee on everything that sells, and not just on the sale price, but on your shipping expenses too. I feel like they are making their money on us. And why should I have to pay to promote my listings further, to get seen more often? It annoys me and I don't like it. But we're supposed to be trying to make wise business decisions. And as we're trying to grow our business and expand and do better, I decided to give it a try for a little bit. I mean, I would rarely promote anything. Only if there was something I was listing that there was a bunch of them for sale and I did want mine to be up higher in the search results. But as a test, the 1st of March, I decided to promote around 125 of my listings out of our, at the time, 750 probably. And I did 2.5%. So not a big promotion, but enough to test the waters. And for the whole entire month, I sold 24 items that were promoted. That's less than one a day. However, I've been reading and seeing on social media people complaining about how bad their sales have been this month and lately, specifically on eBay. It was only 24 promoted listings that sold. And I don't know that this is the entire answer, but March has been my best month in the last 4 months. It even beat December, which December is usually a pretty good month with Christmas. Last year, February, March, and April were not great months. I far exceeded what I did last year. So I am changing my tune a little bit, maybe. And I think I'm going to maybe continue trying to do the promoted listings. But I feel like that trade-off is probably worth it. I'm selling more. And that's what we want. We want to sell more. So, yeah, I'm going to do some more promoted listings. Moving on to another platform. We had a couple of Mercari sales this weekend. And one of them are some men's ice skates, hockey skates. They sold for $32.50. And we only have $3 in them. Got them from my son-in-law. Maybe we should have paid him more than we did. But we made out a deal with him and he was happy. We're happy. Everybody's happy. We don't often pick up things like this. Games, video games. We don't see it a whole lot. And when we do, we don't know. There's so many of them that just are not worth picking up. And most of the time they're priced too high for reselling. But it's one of those niches where you just have to know. And sometimes if it's just a couple or a few things that we can look up, we'll take the time. This one, Kiss Psycho Circus. Kyle picked this one up, paid $10 for it, and we thought we'd get $30 for it, so we were expecting to take $10 and turn it into $30. But I did just take an offer of $25. Mercari's fees are pretty reasonable, so since it was selling there, I just decided let's move it. Slow nickel, fast dime. Wait, I got that wrong. Fast dime versus slow. No, I can't get it. Fast nickel versus slow dime. Is that right? Anyway, I'd rather take a little less money really quickly than sell on something for a really long time and not make that much more. It's $5 was not going to be that significant to me. So I don't think I ever said how many sales we have going out this weekend. We've been averaging 13 to 14 sales a weekend. Last weekend was an exception. We had a little more, but we had an extra day of shipping in there too because I didn't ship one day. But this weekend I've got 15 going out today. So we're still sticking pretty close to that average. The next two I'm going to show you are Facebook sales. This first one, so we agreed to help out our friend Judy, Thrifting Casey Style. You can follow her. She has a YouTube channel. She also is on social media. But she had somebody that gave her a whole bunch of sports cards. And sports cards can be really overwhelming when you get a big quantity of them and don't know anything about them. I wouldn't want to deal with that. It's kind of like games. I don't know games very well, but this is an even bigger quantity. And Kyle agreed to help around. Kyle does know sports cards. He's been selling them 30 years. 30 years at least we've been selling them. And so he knows what he's looking at. And in all of the cards that he was looking at one night, he found this envelope. And in this envelope was this letter and these patches. This letter was written from the parents of a soldier who was killed in Vietnam. And these are patches from his uniform and some other various things. The letter was written to a friend of the soldiers, letting him know that he'd passed. Very sad, very sad. We double checked with her. She knew the person that gave this to her. We wanted to make sure they didn't want this back because this could be special to somebody, but they did not want it back. Judy said, just go ahead and sell it. So I put it up for sale and we got $20 for it in just a few weeks. And this was on Facebook Marketplace. All right, my other Facebook Market sale is also one with shipping. It's not local. This is a lace window panel, Dutch. And I hadn't actually seen one of these before, but just sometimes you can tell from looking at something if it's going to be a good thing to pick up or not. Well, hopefully you can tell. I'm not always right, but this was only $2, and so I picked this up for $2. It's sold for $55 free shipping. It'll probably cost me $16 to ship, so that's around what, 40 bucks for this. $2 into $40, that's pretty good return. Hey, you know what just popped up? Notification for another roll of film that just sold. So now that's 4 out of 5 that have sold. I'm up to $80 for my $3. Now let's get into the rest of my sales, which were all from Etsy. So I had more Etsy sales than I did eBay sales. And I like Etsy. It's becoming one of my favorite platforms. So just a reminder for those of you that maybe haven't followed me for very long or heard me talk about it before, because I don't talk about it every time, but on Etsy, if you have your shipping at $6 or less, I believe, your items are going to show up higher in their search criteria. So I don't like to do free shipping, so I do $5 shipping just so that I have a little bit of shipping money coming from the buyer, and then I will pad my sales price so that I'm making up the rest of the shipping there. But also on Etsy, I tend to sell things at a higher price than I do on any other platform. So I pad that asking price even a little more than just covering the shipping. So I'm doing well there. That padding also helps when I sell something from one of their offsite ads. That's a whole nother topic for another day. But if you sell something on Etsy with their offsite ads, if you're opted into that, it's an extra 15% of your total sale price, which that can be significant. But again, topic for another day. So first Etsy sale, Polaroid, One Step, Rainbow. These used to sell really well a few years ago. They had white ones and the black ones, and we used to get $30, $40 for them. They're not doing quite that well anymore. We sold this one for just $19.99 plus the $5 shipping, and it'll probably cost me $10 to ship. So I only end up netting about $15 for this, and we only have $2 into it, so it's still okay. This is another thing I like to pick up sometimes. These are silk wrapped vintage Christmas ornaments. Now these don't always move super fast, but I always sell them. Always. I mean, I've never had to donate any. I pick them up all the time and I sell them one way or another. And it's March, and I just sold these in March, Christmas ornaments. So these sold for $21.99 plus my $5 shipping. These will cost maybe $8 to ship. And I paid $3 for these. Kyle grabbed these in an online auction because he knows how I like to sell them, and that we always do sell them. So not huge money. We'll stand to make around $15 on this before fees. Another Christmassy kind of thing selling in March, a nutcracker. Now I have had this one listed for quite some time, months, since last summer, and it's March now, so, 8 months-ish. I've found that the key to selling nutcrackers is buy ones that are made in Germany, usually. I sold it for $49.99, and we paid $4 for it at a flea market. So I'm definitely making 10 times my money. Sometimes it is great when you find things, when you're out thrifting or garage selling or whatever it is, for you personally, or for someone that you know that needs some stuff. My daughter was actually with me. This is Pfaltzgraff, and we were at a family-run estate sale, and they had a gazillion pieces of this stuff. I mean, it was a ton, and I think they wanted like $600 for all of it, if I remember right. This was last summer. My daughter was needing some new dishes. She's got 6 kids. They are hard on dishes, very hard on dishes. Maybe they should use plastic, but if they don't, that's okay. So she needed some new dishes, and she decided to come back the next day when it was the last day of the sale, and maybe she could get a deal on them. So they were asking around $600. They made her a deal for $100 for all of it. She didn't really want all of it. She didn't need all of it. So she asked me if I'd sell the pieces that she didn't want. But this is one of the last pieces that she didn't want that we have now sold. It's sold for $17.99 plus $5 ship. So not a huge profit, but let me tell you, I think she ended up making money on the deal. So she got dishes for herself and made money too. Win-win. All right, the last thing that I have to share with you is something that I also had in last week's sold video. It's another printer's tray. Now, if you saw last week's video, you know that I picked up like about 10 of these for between $16 to $19, $20 each, but I've been selling them. I've been selling one every week or two, maybe 3 weeks at the longest, I think it's taken, for between $60 to $90. This one sold on Etsy for $89.99 plus my $5 shipping. Probably cost me $22 to ship. Depends on where it goes. $20 to $25 total probably to ship. And so I'm thrilled. Problem is just finding boxes. I still have enough to ship a couple more, but then I'm gonna have to go hunting for more boxes or buy them, which I don't want to do, don't like to do, but I guess that's just part of being a reseller, is sometimes having to pay for your shipping supplies. Just one last item from Etsy, and I've talked about these before on social media, and I don't know, it's been a while since I've talked about them in a video, but these old frames, like 1960s and 70s, metal with the little design. This one has the faux wood inlay. But you guys, these sell. Especially the key is ornate corners on them. That helps a lot. I will lot these up sometimes, especially if they're plainer or not in the best condition. I will lot these up. Let me show you some sold comps real quick on some of the lots. They do pretty good. And when I pick these up, I do not pay very much for them. I mean, I will give $2 for one, but I don't want to. And I often find them for a lot less than that. I'll find them for, at garage sales, 25 cents, 50 cents, thrift stores for $1. Keep an eye out on these. This one, all by itself. All by itself. Sold for $23.99 on Etsy for just this one 8x10 frame. So there is some money to be made on some of these. Of course, that's this will cost me a little more than $5 to ship, but probably right around $8 to ship. I did get hit with an off-site ad fee on this one, which was another $4.50. I still will make money because I only paid $2 for this one. So definitely, if you don't know about these, check it out. So as you can see, cross-listing works well for me. I talked about using Vendoo last week, and I had more sales so 15 sales total. 5 of them were eBay. The other 10 were other platforms that I wouldn't have had I not been cross-listing. And maybe the promoted listing thing works. I am doing okay on selling. So you might just think about giving it a try. Do a trial run like I did and just select a few of your, 10% of your listings to promote and see what happens. See if they move. Thank you for being here, especially if you're still hanging around and watching at the end of the show. I appreciate you. Hit that like and subscribe for me if you don't mind. And give me some feedback. I love to hear from you. This is fun, and I hope that you're gaining something from watching. Hope you're learning a little something about what to do or what not to do. Which, oh my gosh, I just realized I didn't have any NOLOs. Or did I? Maybe I didn't. I didn't. I mean, there was a few sales that I didn't make a ton of money on, but I didn't lose money. And I didn't have anything that was listed for, okay, well, I had some things listed since last summer, but still, I didn't have a NOLO? That's a win. Okay, so anyway, again, hope you're learning something. And until next time, friends, happy picking.